Got a question for you.
Go for it.
What happens after you die? You ever thought about it?
Yeah, of course.
What do you think happens?
Same thing happened before you were born.
Before you
Nothing.
were born, you didn't exist, but you exist now.
Yeah, and then you just don't exist anymore.
Let's say you're right. Let's say you die, you don't exist, the end, no worries. That would be
Yeah.
interesting. But what if you're wrong? What if you die and you end up in hell with no escape? Wouldn't that be a terrible gamble?
Yeah, but what if you pick the wrong god and then you're in hell for not believing in the wrong god? At least I didn't choose the wrong path. The wrong path. I just didn't know.
Well, they can't all be right at the same time. You gotta do some research to find out what the truth is and what isn't. But here's the thing.
The truth is a very interesting word to use there. I think it's definitely a belief system that helps people get through life.
Here's the thing. The Bible does tell you how to have eternal life and escape hell. Has anyone ever showed you that?
The Bible tells you how to have an eternal life and escape hell. An eternal life. You think an eternal life is possible? You think that it's possible to live for the whole? Do you know how much of a struggle it'd be to live for eternity?
Well, here's the thing. The soul is that energy. It's that part of you that exists forever. You said not be created or destroyed. Once it's been created, that's the energy. That's who you are. That's your soul. It's either going to be with God forever, unlimited, or in the lake of fire forever, separated from God. Those are the realities of the soul.
Okay, but with the soul being in the heaven, how do you perceive that? Do you think you're knowing of that?
Well, God is all powerful. He's all knowing. He's a source of love and life and truth. Whatever limitless possibilities without sin are is what heaven is. There's no time.
Limit, limitless possibilities without sin.
Without evil or sin.
But limitless possibilities would have sin.
Without sin, limitless, yes, without evil. It's like light and darkness. God is the source of light and truth. Sin is the source of darkness. The two cannot be together. So in existence without evil, forever without limits. Whatever your imagination is, whatever the limit, there is no limit. God is a limitless being, so that's what eternity would be like with God.
And you think that it'd be good?
Of course. Existence without evil in the presence of God would be unimaginable.
There is no existence though.
If what you believe isn't true, would you want to know?
I believe that we I believe that the Big Bang happened, right? Some cosmic event, a black hole that was absorbing all the mass in the universe happens, and the Big Bang, boom, everything gets set, and, and at
Something,
the same
something
time,
from nothing,
less
basically.
than a second later, less than a second later, the whole of the universe gets sucked straight back into the black hole, and that just repeats over and over again, boom, 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 and we're just existing for the second. Like how an ant perceives time differently to us, and a fly perceives time differently to us. We
Some
just perceive time differently.
the
We
problem with that
we
is
we're
always
here
the problem with that is always the same. It's the first cause.
we're here once, and that's it. So as long as you're good, I don't think it matters if you believe in a god or not. If there's eternity after this, and I'm banned to hell for not believing in that god, then I don't want to believe in that god anyway.
Let me pick your brain a little bit about the Big Bang. The issue with it
Well,
is always the same. It's the first cause. Something from nothing. How do you get consciousness from unconsciousness, so to say? How do you get life from an energy, like thinking, and being from a non-being, like from a rock or
well,
from energy?
like we just exist, man. Like, bacteria can probably think. Bacteria might think it's conscious. Bacteria might have
The problem
humans on like a microscopic level that we can't see.
the problem is getting life from non-life. That's always the issue. That's the problem with the first cause. But let me think about it this way. God is outside of time, space, and matter. He's the creator. He's not inside of time, space, and matter like we are. All we can
The
observe.
problem I have with religion, right, is if you destroy religious books, they'll come back in with different stories and different truths and stuff like that. Whereas if you destroy science books, then the science would come back because you can test those results. You can't say that there's God exists outside of time, because where's he existing then?
God is a being that's not limited by time. That means he's eternal. He's outside of time, space, and matter. He's the creator, and what we exist in is the created. Time, space, and matter. It cannot. Time, space, and matter cannot create
So who
itself.
created him?
He's outside of creation. He's the creator. He's self-existent and eternal.
That's the problem. The answer is always just yeah.
The
He gets to
problem
do what
is
he wants.
we think in terms of time, space, and matter. We cannot think outside of that because we are inside of that. We're created beings. We cannot
Yeah,
even imagine something outside of time, space, and matter because it's all we know. But God is
this little speck.
the creator. He's outside of time, space, and matter. He's the original thought that gives us thoughts, right? He's the life that gives us life. That's the solution to the first cause issue.
But then it's not, because you have the first cause of him.
First cause doesn't apply to the creator because he's outside of the first cause. Does that make sense?
Doesn't apply to him.
Does that make
So
sense?
then I could say the first cause doesn't apply to the Big Bang, because that was the creator.
But the first cause is within itself. The Big Bang. The problem with the Big Bang is nothing is coming from, or something is coming from nothing. I'm saying something's coming from something.
Yeah, but there's something that you're saying is also nothing, because he's eternal. He's beyond time. He doesn't be created. That's nothing.
He's something, but we cannot understand him completely because it's nothing
It's
like we
something
know
that you
inside
put
of
a
creation.
name onto, the same way that I've put a name on the Big Bang. We all believe in the same thing.
Yes, but the Big Bang is considered energy. It's not a sentient being with purpose that gives us purpose.
Yeah, but if the God isn't a sentient being, because God is everywhere and God is everyone and God is all loving, right? So God isn't a sentient being either.
That's the pantheistic. That's the pantheistic view of God.
Yeah, God is energy, right?
Right, but what I'm proposing is the Christian view of God, meaning that God is a sentient being as well. He's not just an energy without purpose or whatever.
Yeah, I struggle to get behind that, because then, like I said, you have you say that he's the creator, so he can't be created, but
Yes.
then who creates him? You know, like
That's the struggle that we have, because we try to put God into our box of understanding because we live in time, space, and matter. That's all we know. We try to apply everything to that same standard. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
But what I'm saying is I'm proposing to you the possibility of outside of that, where God exists. It's like this, if we put all of our human knowledge together of all time, all humans, and we compare that knowledge to the knowledge that exists in the galaxy, the total knowledge, just hypothetically, it's like all of our knowledge that we put together is like 1% of all the entire galaxy, if even. I can't even know if we can put a number on it. What I'm saying is outside of that 1%, that other 99% is where God is. He's unlimited. He's vastly, a being that can create an unlimited universe, basically, is unfathomable to us because we're limited beings.
No, that's very true.
Anyway, that's...
So you picture heaven as like a thing that you can play in. You think it's like a piece, like you said, is, what did you say, limitless possibilities without sin, right?
Yes.
So how do you perceive that? How do you think we would have that? Do you think we're like running around eating ice cream, or like do you think it's too incomprehensible to even understand?
I don't know, but what I do know is us as limited beings, we always have the same desires no matter where we're born, no matter where we're from. We always have the desire to find out our origins, truth. We have a desire to have purpose in our life, right? We're always trying to fulfill our needs, right? Whether it be through money or through pleasure or through power.
Yeah.
We're always trying to look for something to fill that void, but it's always empty. Well, God created our soul in such a way that we are seeking the unlimited, which is God. Our soul is seeking something to fill that void, and the unlimited all power the only thing that can truly fill that void is an unlimited all powerful being. That's the relation that we have to him. So heaven would be a connection of those things in many ways. And who's to say that you look at all the galaxies and you see all the planets and stuff out there? Who know? We don't even hardly know anything. We can't even get outside of our own Milky Way. There's limitless possibilities of what could be said or done.
There is indeed. It's a scary thought to. Infinity is a very scary thing to think about.
Yes, it is. If it's a cold void with no purpose and there is no God behind it, and of course it would be. But if there is order to the universe, if we have discovered so many different mathematical equations and made sense of so many different things through those discoveries, we look at our own DNA and how complex it is, and we can't even discern the meaning behind all of these kind of things. But they all point back to a sentient or an intelligent mind, a complex logical mind behind it. So I take comfort in that, knowing that God is there and that God does care about us.
Okay. Well, I wish you all the best.
Do you have
Nice talking.
you sound like an intelligent guy. You have an email address? I would like to send you an ebook called One Heartbeat Away.
I'm good. Thank you, though, man. I appreciate it.
How about I give you my
You
website in case you change your mind?
enjoy the rest of your evening, man.
Here's my website. It's called AfterDeathTruth.net. Check it out.
Yeah, I'll give it another one day.
And if you send me an
I'll
email,
remember.
if you send me an email on that site, I'll send you a book. It's called One Heartbeat Away. It'll be a life changer. Takes a lot of courage to read it, though.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, have a good one.